Hey guys, this week I'm going to show you an exercise that targets the hips, specifically the lateral or outside of the hips. Now this exercise is called the Pelvic List. It comes from the Restorative Exercise Institute with Katy Bowman. There's a link in the description below that I highly recommend you check out and let me know what you think of her work. I know I've really liked it. So here we go. I'm going to set you on this tripod and we're going to dive in. So feet are pointing forward. We want to make sure we aren't turning them out because that's not going to allow us to work the muscles that we're trying to target in this exercise. So feet are hip width apart and pointing forward, and we're going to start by just pushing this right heel down into the ground as hard as we can, and you'll notice that that's going to consequently lift the left hip up. You can see it's at an angle right now, so from here to here. Now what a lot of people will do when trying to do this exercise is they'll contract the muscles above the hip on the lifting side, kind of like doing a side crunch, to accomplish this same look. However, that is not at all what we're going for because we're trying to target these outside hip muscles, so go ahead and let these muscles relax. All the motion is coming from this contraction right here on the outside of the hip. You're raising and lowering it. And two other things you can keep an eye out for is making sure that your legs stay straight throughout and you aren't bending, because that's going to change where you feel the exercise. And the other thing is making sure that you keep the weight back in your heels and don't allow your pelvis to float forward when you're doing it. If you float forward, you're going to end up feeling it in your low back a little bit more, and you won't be able to target those lateral hip muscles as well as keeping your weight stacked over your heels, contracting here and lifting up. Now I'll show you what it looks like with a count off of what the exercise would actually look like. So for example, you could do a 3 count up. So 1, 2, 3. Now you're at your max contraction and you're holding for 1, 2, 3. Then slowly and controlled lower down for 1, 2, 3. And then repeat that. Once you get really comfortable with this exercise at ground level, you can move on to a more advanced version, which is with a block. Now what the block allows you to do is it allows you not only to get the raising angle, but it also allows you to control the lowering angle. Again, throughout the whole exercise, only the planted lateral hip muscles are doing the work. So we're raising up and then slowly lowering down. Now I want you to approach this one cautiously because it does put a lot more strain here, and you need to make sure that you do it incrementally over time so as not to overwork anything. For those of you who are having trouble even just getting started with the ground version, you can gently put a hand on the wall for a little bit of balance and stability while you're getting started to make sure that you are targeting those lateral hip muscles here and not getting anything here. Now eventually we want you to graduate from not using the wall because that means you have a lot more of that muscular control, but again, there's just different progressions depending on where you are. So give the pelvic list a try, let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll see you next week.
Today we're going to be making a trail mix cookie. For the base of our trail mix cookie, we're going to be using oats. We like to use a certified gluten-free sprouted oat, and by buying them already sprouted, it prevents me from having to do it at home, which I like as far as time saving. And it's much easier to digest on your stomach, which is why we choose to do sprouted oats over traditional oats. Now these cookies are really great for breakfasts or snacks on the go. So let's get started.